January 3rd, 2022. It's another afternoon. By the time I'm doing this workout, it's probably about 4:30, 4:45 in the afternoon. Did another morning shift this morning, so started at 7, finished at 3:30. Got home, had a bit of food to eat, and then down to the gym in my building this time. I was planning on going to the gym, and I know, like I talked about yesterday, I normally ride my bike to the gym. Today, big thunderstorm in the afternoon. Thought, no, I'm not going to get to the gym. There's always no parking, so there's almost no point in driving my car. So today I decided I don't use my complex gym too much, but I'm going to be training every day, and I want to mix it up a little bit. I should become more familiar with this space and use it a lot more often. So, I come down after work, I do my stretching routine. I think a big part of my running is I like to stretch my lower body a lot. My last New Year's in 2021, my resolution that year was to stretch almost every day, or at least every second day, to improve my mobility. I couldn't before that I couldn't squat down without my heels lifting off the ground. My Achilles tendon and my ankles mobility was terrible. It was always tight. My calves were always sore. I had problems with the right side of my hip. And through this sort of lower body stretching protocol every day, it's really, really improved it. So I'm just going through here, just having a quick warm up. I'll speed through it. You don't need to have a look at all of it. But so today my only pieces of equipment are my body weight, an ab roller, a stretching band, a couple of dumbbells that are just normally in the gym, but they're not very heavy, and a kettlebell. Now, I remember, I don't know, maybe what it was, about 3 years ago, I was listening to a podcast, and this particular one had a Russian fitness instructor. I think he's ex-military, but he's pretty much the godfather of the kettlebell. He's the one that introduced the kettlebell to the West. I think his programs were hugely popular at the end of the 90s and the early 2000s. I might butcher his name, but I think his name's Pavel Tutsalin. Anyway, I was sort of thinking back to that podcast that I listened to a couple of years ago as I'm using the kettlebell. And I have to say, after doing this workout, kettlebell is the best. For something that you can spend, I don't know, like $40 to $60 to get a reasonable weight kettlebell, of something 15 to 20 kilos. And you chuck in some body weight exercises, you can have a complete workout. You can do a full body workout with a kettlebell. You only need one, and you can do a full body workout, and then you can just mix it in with some ab stuff like I'll do later. But kettlebell squats with a press. You can do little deadlifts with them. You can do kettlebell swings. You can do Turkish get-ups. Like you can do a lot. You can do curls with them. You can do tricep extensions, which I'll probably do later in this video. But man, it gives you such a good workout as well. And this one I tried to sort of cut down my periods of rest to no more than sort of 40 seconds. Really, this was one where I knew I wasn't going to be lifting a lot of weight because I don't have a big kettlebell. But I wanted to get the frequency up and the reps up so that I'm always doing some sort of movement and I'm keeping my heart rate high for this workout. And I'll tell you what, I felt the burn, man. I think I only did 3 or 4 sets of each exercise for about 10 to 15 reps. But for anyone who wants to do a home exercise, or can't afford to a gym, or just doesn't want to go to a gym, I 100% recommend getting a kettlebell. And if you look at this Russian fellow, this Pavel, his kettlebell protocol, it's fantastic. I'll put a link to his website, and I'll put a link to the podcasts that I listen to down below, because it's good stuff. He talks about, again, probably from yakking on from what I was saying yesterday, but the importance of strength training and endurance, and this way, he has barbell protocols and he has kettlebell protocols, and he talks about them both. But for him, kettlebell is king, and look, I 100% do that. If I had to workout with only one piece of equipment for the rest of my life, it would be a kettlebell. You can do whatever you want with a kettlebell. So he talks about his training protocols. He's got a couple different ones. He's very, very into the science. If you want to get into the science behind it, which I sort of butcher a little bit, it's 100%. You can go into his. He does this sort of 5x5 protocol. It's 5 movements, 5 reps, 5 days a week. So that's usually your squat, your deadlift, your swing, your Turkish get-ups. I think the minimal in his program is that you do kettlebell swings and Turkish get-ups every day. And then I think he's got one called Power to the People or People to the Power. Deadlifts, bench press, or side press 5 days a week. So he's one of these people that does believe in rest and recovery, and that's obviously something that I'm not taking any days off, but definitely something I like to implement before and after my training sessions, probably from here on out. But yeah, it's a very interesting philosophy, and I think this will apply more for barbell because I'm looking to get into doing movements that incorporate the whole body. You see, like these kettlebell swings here, I'm sort of engaging my legs, engaging my hips, exploding through my hips and my core, and then lifting with my shoulders. And I'm getting a full body workout, and I'm breathing hard after the end of these few reps. So it's something that I'm looking to get into. And he talks about if you're lifting heavy and you're doing these five reps, 5 movements, 5 days a week, in between your heavy sets, so you take 5 minutes. 5 minutes to recover between your sets. And I know this isn't something that a lot of people like to do. So he's, specifically for probably the modern person that is, maybe only restricted to an hour for a workout and can't have 5 minutes between each set rest. They want to keep going. He talks about doing another exercise on a different muscle completely. But his philosophy sort of goes away from your standard gym machines and using gym machines that are very locked into one specific motion. And I get it for people that use the gym for the first time. It's safe. They don't have to put too much thought into it or control into it. You just sort of flick on the weight and you do your leg extensions, your leg press, or your bench press, your vertical press, all on these machines, and they're great. I've definitely gotten a lot of use out of them over the years, but I think the way I'm sort of switching at the moment is to get into more of this functional strength. Because I think I've probably gotten all I can get out of these machines, except for maybe legs. I still like curls and leg extensions for legs, so I think I will still implement those. But apart from that, I'll probably look to go away from that. I love the barbell stuff, like the stuff I was doing yesterday would just be a part of it. Same with the kettlebell. Free weights, dumbbells, I think I'll do a lot more of that. You're using more muscles, you're using your accessories to stabilize yourself. I think that's something that gets missed when you are locked in with one singular range of motion. With these standard gym machines, is you don't use these accessories. They're great for targeting your chest or your pec decks and all that. It's going to target your pecs, but it's not going to do something to stabilize you as well as dumbbell flies, where you're free and you have all this free movement. So you're engaging your chest, but you're also engaging your shoulder and your rotator cuffs and your grip strength and your wrists, and you're all coordinating in one movement. And that's what I think I'm going to aim towards. I bought a kettlebell during just after one of our first lockdowns last year because I thought 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I can't afford not to work out. I'll go crazy. For my physical health, it's great, but especially for my mental health, I need to do something, and I got really sick of doing push-ups, sit-ups, bodyweight squats. Again, great exercises. You can do them all day. You can get a really good workout with them. But I wanted something a little bit heavier. I want to feel like I'm lifting some weight, and I want to feel like I'm getting a little bit more benefit. So this is where the kettlebell comes in, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's really great, and it's definitely something that I would 100% recommend and encourage everybody If you're into fitness or you're looking into fitness, you don't want to go to a gym or you don't want a gym membership, or you're on a budget, get a kettlebell. If you got a little bit more extra money, get a stretching band or a dumbbell. Just because probably with your kettlebell you can do a couple pull variations to work your back. But as you see with me in this video here, I've got my band and I'm sort of stretching my band out with my arms, and I'm just sort of engaging my lats a little bit with my back, which is an excellent back exercise. But yeah, like you see, I'm doing overhead press. I can do tricep extensions, squats, deadlifts. It's a wonderful device. And just going back to this Pavel's method, or one of the methods, or one of the training programs he talks about, is when you're doing these exercises, you can do them repeatedly. You can do different movements with kettlebells and continually keep your heart rate up. You can keep you don't want to redline. Redlining is, you can't consistently redline. You're going to get too much lactic acid build up in your muscle, and you'll compromise your form. You're not going to be able to lift correctly. Keeping your heart rate at probably 80%, 70%, 80% of your max for, what was this workout, 35 minutes long, which I've sort of sped up in the video because I don't want to be talking for 35 minutes. I'm talking like zero. But yeah, doing these workouts and doing these different movements while not sort of putting too much strain on one part of my body with over repping that part of my body, but using my body as one tool and one motion, using all of these different accessory muscles. It's fantastic. You feel tired, but you don't feel particularly sore. And again, once again, with warming up correctly, and then also understanding the movements you're about to undertake, and preparing yourself for them, being ready for them, it just makes working out so much easier. So yeah, look, I love this kettlebell, and then I mixed it in with a little bit of ab exercises, and it's like, again, something anyone can do at home. Don't have to go to a gym to get abs. You can just sit on your floor, sit on the carpet, get a yoga mat if you want, sit on your yoga mat, and just start doing crunches. Like, really, you can do sit-ups, you can do crunches. I don't really do sit-ups. I get a bit of a sore back from them sometimes if I don't do them properly or if I'm lazy. But definitely, like these rows I'm doing here, great burn from them. My sort of toe touches that I was doing on my side definitely work my obliques. Feel a really, really good burn in there. And yeah, your ab roller, which I call the death roller because I hate it. It's a love-hate relationship with me in this ab roller. It burns and it hurts and it stretches my core out so much, but I get excellent results from it every time I use it. And at times, again, probably why I'm doing this train every day philosophy is I can keep doing these movements more often. But that's one of the exercises on my days off I'd probably skip doing, and then I'd forget about it, and I might miss it for a week or two, and then I'll come back to it, and I'm a little bit behind, super sore again. So that's something I definitely want to keep up on as well. But look, a few pieces of equipment there probably doesn't cost more than $100, honestly, for the band, for the kettlebell, for the ab roller, and probably even for my foam roller that I brought down as well. Probably no more than $120. So if you're on a budget and you're looking for these things, it's absolutely fantastic. You'll get a burn, you'll get results, and you can find programs online anywhere. You can find free videos on YouTube that'll tell you how to go through. If you want to pay for things like that, you can go to people like Pavel or other exercise instructors who specialize in these movements. So yeah, I think he's got a couple books out. I think I'll buy the audio books. I'll listen to it. I don't really read too much. I'm more of a audible listener. I get my information through listening and acting and doing. So I think I'll buy a couple of his audio books, and I might have that as my regular listen for a couple of weeks, and just to get his thoughts. While I'm doing this experiment of training every day, I don't think it's necessary to stick to a certain protocol. I think I want to experience a lot of different protocols and sort of pick and choose and take what I like from this one or leave what I don't like from the other ones, and pick them off the best evidence and the best rationale given, also in conjunction with my understanding of them and how I feel doing the movements and the training as well. I think the most important thing is probably how I feel and how whether or not I'm exhausted at the end of the session and then it sort of carries over the next day, or you just get your usual gym soreness, you have to stretch it out and do a bit of recovery, and then you're good to go. So yeah, look, I finish off with a little bit more abs on this session. I think everything was sort of 3 to 4 sets, sort of 10 to 15 reps, except for the obliques, where I think I did 30 reps of the obliques, and I think I tried to do 30 reps of the ab rowing exercise. But look, something anyone can do at home, fantastic. You don't need a lot of space to do it. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to probably using a lot more of the space. I don't think many people in my building use this space too much. So if anyone's watching, you can take something from this. But yeah, definitely a great exercise. Kettlebells are king, 100%. And yeah, look, I think I'll leave it at that. Cheers.